Do we have everybody on one side looking at somebody on the other side? Do we have that? All right. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to give that person a high five, a hug, a kiss, an unbelievable smile, a pound, a beat down, whatever it is. Don't get too frisky. Don't get too frisky. Unbelievable. I mean, it's crazy. I know it's good. Are you done? Are you done? All right, here's why. Unbelievable job this year so far. The season was crazy, and it's all about the person on the other side of the aisle. You guys did a fantastic job, so thank you for that. You know, it's not easy to develop a community. It's not easy to pick your right partners. It's not easy sometimes when you have competitive goals amongst even the stakeholders. We see that all the time, but I'm so proud of this team and what they did across aisles. It's unbelievable. Examples of that. Examples. I'm an example guy. I know that Rich and the guys from Spazzato, Matt, guys from NV Homes, we had an irrigation and drainage issue earlier this year that seemed like we couldn't satisfy the homeowners, but through really a concerted effort by some on my team, Rich Rischel and Lawton Myrick even, who's now with GMB, and Spazzato especially, and NV Homes also, we were able to get through a whole bunch of issues with homeowners and nail down an irrigation issue, which took a lot. You know, you have weather events like Joaquin just recently dumping, I don't know, 9 inches of rain, some stupid amount of rain, and really killing a golf weekend where Sean, who's back there, always a team player, helping us out with food service, and Renee, you know, really hurting the weekend and $20,000 of revenue, but still, every year, Bayside Golf is the top golf course in the year. And the top golf course in the state. And I get to play a lot of golf courses. I think one of the top golf courses in the country. So that is super impressive, despite assholes like Joaquin. You know, but I love acronyms. Acronyms, my 18-year-old tells me, because I never really did well on the SAT, especially the verbal score. Acronyms, abbreviations. So ESPN. Who here watches ESPN? Right? Everybody watches ESPN. Of course we do. And who here has ever heard the term namaste? Namaste. Right? We got, you know what namaste is. Do we have any yoga people here? Do we have people who take yoga? All right, Rachel, you take yoga, right? What does namaste mean in yoga?
It means peace or respect.
Peace or respect, right? Beautiful term. Another thing namaste means is a great beer. Dogfish beer, right? So, you know, those terms somehow go together in my mind. But especially this postseason. And so when I started thinking of what I'm going to say, I looked at ESPN and I said, extra special postseason namaste. Let me tell you what this place has done just since September 1st. And I'm glad this gentleman walked in, Scott Vaselli, who, by the way, is an award winner for the best chef in Delaware. So thank you, Scott. So extra special postseason namaste. You're going to hear this theme. You've heard it since I've been here. Community development is as much about the people, if not more so in my mind, than what we're building. We have gorgeous golf courses. We have gorgeous landscaping. We have gorgeous houses. I mean, it really is top of class, but it is so much about the people. And so you're going to get a sense of this and what I'm about to say. In about the last 6 to 7 weeks, even before summer, after summer, here's what we've accomplished. Around September 1st, we had a lip sync contest that maybe some of you heard of, that Doug Phillipson, Patty Grimes, Molly, the people from the foundation challenged the development team and whoever else we could bring along to a lip sync contest right here at the stage. That was really an impressive thing. It was a wonderful night. We got to make complete fools of ourselves, but nobody held a candle to Bob DeFebo, who danced around in his underwear at night to split glass. That's one thing we did. We had Seize the Day, where we hosted, and this was very special event. You guys know about it. Again, thanks to the foundation and participation from a lot of people around this room, outside the foundation, where we hosted vets and their families. You know, about 30, 35 vets. We had dinner right here in this tent. And it was a very special day. We had the Josh Freeman Foundation Golf Tournament, which got rained out, except for it was the best rained out golf tournament I've ever been to. And here's why Namaste comes into play again, because Ted and I played in the same group. And on the 6th hole, we ran into Katie Davis, who was at our sister course at Bear Trap Dunes, and she was serving Dogfish beer, of which one of them was Namaste. And during the monsoon, which happened to last probably 2 hours, something like that, poor Katie, she had 12 middle-aged guys with potbellies drinking Namaste with her in this tent. Probably her worst nightmare. But here's what happened. When the thunder and lightning happened, Bob Crowther and his golf team, always concerned about safety, called us out of the tent and said, "You guys got to come in. We're really concerned about your safety." And the clear response is, "Namaste, it's fine here." That was a good day. We had Coastal Style Awards, which is a local magazine. Hey, Ryan, thanks for coming. Ryan with MV Home just walked in. And, you know, in the Coastal Style Awards, which I think maybe was a little bit unsolicited or maybe a little pushed, doesn't matter. Michelle Freeman won Best Businesswoman. Scott Vaselli, as I mentioned, walking before, won Best Chef. Bayside won Best Community of the Year. Muir Maurer, again, from our sister course at Bear Trap, won the Best Pro. So that's really an impressive thing. Again, a tribute to this teamwork. We launched an app, a Bayside app this September, thanks to Rachel Allen, Lindsay Maurer, Jen Idzy, and a whole bunch of people on the Appy team that launched this year, which we think provides the community with a great communication tool and that cool factor, so thank you for that. We had the Fall Fest last weekend, which really came out well. It was a little cloudy on Saturday, but out at the point, I feel like we had somewhere between 50 and 100 folks out there just having a great time. Got some great pictures on that. One of the other things that we are doing that, I don't know how I landed this, but I got Jen Idzy as a partner in the Bayside Beatdown Contest. And so we had kayak races and eating pies and all kinds of great stuff out there, which was awesome. But we also had links to the Bay 5K, where this is truly a community event, where we had about 65 or 70 runners and organized an event out there in partnership with the Center for the Inland Bays, because we love the Bay. We are Bayside, for gosh sake, and the Bay is a beautiful asset. One of the most beautiful places in the world, I think. And it was just a absolutely perfect demonstration of teamwork. We had guys from Sodell out there that at the end of the run, which was great, we had a Bloody Mary bar and oysters, right? So that was awesome. Well, here's what you did do. You designed the logo. Lindsay was out there. Thank you. And I don't know, there was a whole bunch of Scott was out there. Jim Alfalt was out there from Sodell. Really didn't have to get out there at 6 o'clock in the morning for sunrise to help us set up so we could make an 8:30 gun time on the race. And it just turned out perfect. One of the guys ran, a guy named Brian Volpe, happens to be a homeowner and a member here in Bayside. He has 2 daughters and I think probably a brother. They all ran the race. They came up to me. Brian came up to me. First off, his 2 girls. They probably are 12 and 10. Each of them won second and third place for best women's time, which is awesome. But Brian came up to me and he said these words, and this rings true to me, and it's why Bayside is such a special place. Brian came up to me and said, "I don't want to live anyplace else. I've been here for a year. I come down here every weekend. I'm in New Jersey. I bring my family down here. I don't miss a weekend. This is just the best place on earth." And he was sincere, folks. That is a tribute to you all. Thank you very much. That was awesome. So, all of that, September 1st. All of that, September 1st. That is impressive. So, in combination with that, I started to make a list of what we really have accomplished this year. And I'm going to go down this list, and I'm going to go down fast, all right? And I'm going to go around, I'm just going to pick some people out of this crowd right here, and start thinking about why you think Bayside is such a special place. Because I'm not shy. I don't want you to be shy. So here's what happened this year. The convenience of McDonald's came down to Bayside. And I want to ask who here hasn't gone through that drive-thru. Nobody, right? Nobody. That happened just in April. Seems like it's 2 years ago. I go through like every morning. Our 10-year anniversary happened this year. That's fantastic. We started in '05 and here we are at 2015. The Welcome Center, as I've already said, is under construction and nearing completion. We will get there. A new town center post office right beside it is underway. The indoor pool, by the way, headed like a steamroller towards a permit whereby we're going to start construction on that thing in February or March of this year. The neighborhoods around the Magnolia Tree doesn't take a genius to go out there and look at all of those houses sprouting up. The Shoals, which by the way was the first acquisition outside of Bayside we've had in probably 10 years. Resounding success thanks to the guys from NV Homes. Fantastic. Seize the day, as I said, this year. Sodell and the guys, and Jim Uffelt and the guys from Sodell got into full swing. Sean and Troon went through a bunch of changes this year starting April. They are in full swing now. And Kelly is selling memberships like they are potato chips. For God's sake, they are coming off the shelves. I mean, we have something like 170 resident members here, and every day I look at my email, got another one. So that's fantastic. We got 8 Regal Awards this year. 8 Regal Awards, topped by Best Community in Delaware and Best Amenity Value. That is an impressive list. Coastal Style Magazine with all the awards that I just mentioned, and our very own app. A few months ago, I had somebody come up to me that doesn't work here anymore and said, you know, some people that work for us just don't believe. After that list, I really don't know how in the hell you can't believe in this place. It's awesome. So thank you for that. That is a small list of what is happening in Bayside, and it is a tribute to you. Let's get to what this day is all about, and that's Bill Hamilton and his customer service attitude that he had. As I have said before in these events, I knew Bill, Michelle and Rich and some of the guys, Twig probably knew Bill for years, several years. I only had the privilege to meet Bill for a few months before he fell ill and then eventually lost a battle. But I can tell you this, the first time I met Bill Hamilton, he felt like my best friend. It didn't take but one word out of that gentleman's mouth, and I knew that Bill was a team player. He didn't care who I represented, who I was, what I wanted to do. If I was in here in Bayside to make it better, he was all about trying to help me do that. I don't know what you guys know about Bill, but he was a hell of a golfer. I know that he helped Josh really start into this golf business. He was a guy that would pick up anything if you asked him to do it, whether it was improve the golf course and give you a lesson, go look at the pools and try to figure out what you could do, help Laura when she was here. He was just, in my mind, a model of Bayside. And so his customer service attitude is what this award is all about. With 7, 8, 9, 10 stakeholders in Bayside, he didn't care who you belonged to. He knew if you were going to make Bayside better, he was going to help. And so, we did this thing when we started this award a while ago about what the Bayside Way is, and there's a whole bunch of things to it. But I'm going to read sort of 1, 2, 3, about 5 or 6 things that I think are important. Beyond exceptional service, because we have a passion for our business, our goal for exceptional service is set above the expectation of our customers. Attitude. We model an attitude of friendly formality, displaying a genuine hospital and enthusiastic attitude. We remain visible to our guests, and our body language and posture communicate readiness and ability to provide service. You are the source. We take immediate ownership of any challenge that we are faced with until the situation is resolved. When you see that something needs to happen at Bayside, you get it done. I think everybody in this crowd right here that I'm looking at is 100% on board with that. Start on common ground. When we meet someone new, we always do our best to find something that we have in common. We use open-ended questions to discover information about that person and always look them in the eye. Bill looked me in the eye, immediately sold me 2 drivers, 3 shirts, and a putter. He knew who I was when I was walking in. Identify ways to bring people together. I think this is important. We build community and take a sincere interest in bringing people together and sustaining authentic connections with one another and with our customers. And so, oftentimes in this room, I think we think of customers as homeowners or home purchasers, right, or stage goers. you guys are customers of each other. So it's as important with your internal customers as it is for your external customers. I mean, everybody that's not you is a customer of you. That's the way I think about it. Diligently aware. We remain diligently aware of our surroundings at all times and eliminate disturbing behaviors such as loud or excessive talking and the use of radios or phones while in front of our guests. So I think this is common courtesy, right? If somebody's having a real sincere conversation, the last thing you want to do is make it so they can't hear each other talk. And so that's common courtesy. Empathetic. Empathy is about understanding people by seeing things from their perspective. I think this is important. We all have different perspectives. Recognizing their emotions and affirming those emotions. We seek to be empathetic in all personal and business dealings at Bayside so that we can make meaningful connections. It's all about the connections. It really is. And so that's a little bit of what this award is all about. It's very near and dear to my heart. One of the things that I'm going to add a little twist to this year is that Bill was a golfer, right? I mean, we have a gorgeous golf course here, and Bill Hammer certainly knew about golf. And I think probably most of the people in this room do. But how many people ever have watched the Masters? I'm going to say the majority of this room, right? Masters golf. You know what happens at the end?
Green jacket.
Green jacket, right? Green jacket, right? So the winner gets a green jacket. Bill Hammer was a NC State Wolfpack. He happened to be going to NC State about the time I was going to UVA. You know, we were number one in the country for 52 weeks until NC State and Jimmy Valvano took us off our pedestal. And I'm sure Bill was one of those guys on the other end of the stadium cheering madly while I was in tears. But he was a huge NC State fan. So instead of the green jacket, I'm going to ask Chris Veers. Is he here? Is Chris here? He was here. All right, so Chris isn't here. And I'm going to ask Rich Rischel to come up here. Rich, if you mind coming up, and yeah, so come on up. So in honor of Bill, okay.
I'm keeping that.
Yes, you are. Hold on. Right. There you go. There. Is that fit?
Yeah, baby.
All right. Yeah. Now, one of the things that the Masters does is previous champions, and this is important because Bill is a big golfer, get to put the green jacket, or in this case the red jacket, on the next award winner. So I'm going to ask Rachel to come up here for a minute, and I'm going to ask Doug Phillips, who's filming, or Kelly. Kelly, can you come up for a minute just to hold this mic for me? I don't want to ruin it, because we got something for Rachel. Is this in the right order?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Throw that one down.
No, this one?
Yep, down.
Okay. All right. This one right here? Look at that difference. You need to put this on.
I don't even know if this would fit Chloe.
Yay. There we go. Nice.
Does that work? Is that one? Now, as you know, part of this award, and again, people that get the award get to pass it on. And so, Rachel, I'm going to ask you to go pick one out there and bring Mr. Charles Tull up. You might need a ladder. I don't know if that fits, Charles. I guess. You know what? He might need Chris Beers' jacket. It looks good like that. So it's time. Everything is good. Charles was our most recent winner. Is our most recent winner and current holder of the Bill Hammer Customer Service Award. So naturally, we asked Charles to pick a new winner. Which is a great thing about this award because I think it's one of our folks here that works in Bayside picking out and recognizing another person in Bayside for a really what I believe to be one of the best awards that we give out. And so Charles, and I understand his girlfriend, really probably talked about that a lot. I am sure of it. And I want you to think a little bit about how beautiful this place is when you walk in to Bayside. How absolutely gorgeous it always is. Absolutely gorgeous. And so Charles, if it's okay, can I read this? I'm privileged to read this letter that Charles wrote about his nominee for this year's Hammer Award. I am one of the fortunate ones who has witnessed Bayside grow into a thriving community that it is today. There are many reasons why Bayside was voted the #1 community in Delaware, and it came as a direct result of the tremendous efforts continually put forth by so many people, several of whom themselves be suitable nominees. However, when I first was approached about who I might recommend for this year's honor, there was one person that immediately came to my mind. I truly respect and appreciate the contribution this man makes to Bayside on a daily basis, and have considered him the community's unsung hero for quite some time. My nominee for this year's Hammer Award is Matt Snyder of Spadina. Take that guy up. Yeah. That's the one? You might want the rest of those, I don't know. I love this, man. I feel like I'm at the Masters. This is awesome.
That's if it's red, it's in
I mean, you can wear this for New Year's Eve, I'm sure. Is it a little tight? I can get new ones. I can get new ones. Charles goes on to write that Matt manages his crews with the highest efficiency. Through his efforts, he has maintained the grounds for customers in the community, keep Bayside beautiful, and it has attracted so many people to Bayside. When I have asked people what drew them to Bayside, the answer is frequently in regards to the beauty of the grounds and how well kept Bayside is. Many have expressed that when they first entered the community, they were blown away by how healthy and fresh everything looks throughout the community of Bayside. Some have even expressed that the grass seemed greener at Bayside, literally greener. First impressions are not everything, but they are lasting. Now I cannot prove that the grass is greener, and it is, but I do know that it keeps growing after you cut it and will brown up quickly without the proper care. I also know that Matt ensures that there is no gaps between fertilizing and that every section of the community receives the same level of care. Matt's job is enormously important, just plain enormous. With an already large amount of grounds to maintain, Matt has responded to the booming growth of the community proactively and effectively. There are so many working parts that he is responsible for, and Matt manages them all, people and plant, so well and so responsibly. I am sure that it may be a juggling act for him at times, but Matt makes what he does seem like nothing less than a well-oiled machine. We all owe him a thank you for keeping Bayside beautiful and for consistency as his job has grown. And we will continue to grow with Bayside. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Charles. That was beautiful. So these guys, look, I couldn't afford red jackets for everybody, but these guys truly do, in my mind, really cross the aisles and make things happen. I will continue to get red jackets. I'm hoping that I am here for a long, long time.